Hello and welcome to the Would You Watch It With Your Mother podcast, where three friends subject each other to weird videos, films and shows that they found on the internet. Each week we'll describe the videos, have a discussion about what we saw, before finally asking the big question, would you watch it with your mother? So sit back, relax, and roll that intro.
Avalanches!
Yay!
Oh, it's only going to get weirder.
Avalanches were... Yep.
Let's
go!
Anyone want to say more about them other than the Avalanches were?
Right, so this week it was Bushby's time to shine in the sending to people things. Yep. Okay, let's get into this. So, Bushby sent 2 songs by the band Avalanches. One was called Frankie Sinatra, and I guess this had a narrative to it where some guy in an ice cream van or just general vending van was selling weird green shit to people, and they drank it and they all started hallucinating, and then it all started spiraling out from there. I mean, I've got to say, I think this, for both music videos and songs, I didn't find the music videos all that strange and bizarre. I don't really think there was much to say. It was just like a stream of events happening. There was like, I don't know, it was just weird stuff. I found the music a lot weirder than the visuals, like in a cool way, especially for the second one that Bushby sent us, Frontier Psychiatrist, where like, yeah, the video, weird imagery, but it's kind of like stock weird imagery. Like, a lot of it's just like, ooh, there's now a monkey playing the drums instead of an old lady, and ooh, there's a skeleton on the chair, and there's a cat in the cuckoo clock, blah 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 blah. However, I found the music a lot weirder, as it appeared to be entirely based off samples, and it was just genius how it was strung together. And just generally awesome. Honestly, not much to say about the music videos themselves in terms of plots. You just have to see it to believe it. This isn't like Little Big, where it's like kind of a constant stream of nightmares. There's like kind of a plot, but when I say it's someone feeding a whole town with green shit, that's it. That's what the music video is.
Yeah.
And then, though I did appreciate the people driving around on like a hovercraft around a swamp, shooting at the air at random. And then the second video was really just like an old talk show, variety show. But weird.
Yeah.
So the thing with Frankie Sinatra is that the video is more of like a Breaking Bad meets what happens when you let a lot of old people loose on a boat after taking LSD. That's how I kind of saw it. Because if you notice that all of the people throughout the majority of the video that it focuses on are not like the younger people taking LSD. It's like, what happens if you get a load of old folks, well, people over the age of like 70, LSD, and then they have like weird trips and they like remember the war or something, and they start shooting fishermen and stuff.
Apparently all that happens is if you give older people LSD, they have a really good time, and then if you give younger people LSD, they fucking scream for their lives, like we saw in that one dinner bit.
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out. Right, we're gonna buy up some LSD.
Oh my god.
Go find an isolated town somewhere.
FBI, open up!
We don't need ethical peer reviews because this is going to be an amateur experiment. So we don't need to run this with anyone.
How does that make it free of ethical peer reviews if it's amateur?
Because we don't have to.
Yeah. I mean, we could just do it for the next podcast. Just take a shitload of LSD and do it, and then see what happens. Like, it'll probably be absolute garbage.
Take LSD with our mothers.
Oh my gosh.
and see if like if the music video was correct in what it was saying.
Yeah.
Or at least Gav's interpretation.
I don't know. I don't know if I either really, really don't want to do that or if I really, really do want to do that.
What's happening here? What has this music video done? What's going on?
We're not associated with drugs or drugs taking. Unless you think it's cool, please notice me, senpai. Then yes, we do take loads of drugs.
Wow.
Also, if the police are listening, no, I don't take any drugs.
That's exactly what you'd say if you did.
Also, if my mum's listening.
Oh no. Oh, this is such an episode. All right,
Bushby,
Yes.
tell us.
Yes.
What? Yeah, I have never actually heard of.
Can you tell us about the band as a nice segue off the drugs?
Yeah. So
Before.
moving swiftly on. So the Avalanches, they're an Australian electronic music
Of course,
group.
they're. Sorry,
They're Australian.
I mean, they're Australian.
Yeah. So they formed in Melbourne in 1997.
Can you say Melbourne again?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Okay. Is that how it's said? Am I being wrong here?
Know. It's got an O in it. I'm just pronouncing a bit after Mel, bit like the Bourne identity.
I don't know. I'm just.
Why-
I never realized it was said like that. Sorry, that caught me off guard for a moment.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are you such a stickler for how a city on the other side of the world is pronounced?
Now I'm wondering, like, if I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Let's just say they were formed in a city in Australia in 1997.
Run.
That'll do.
In 1997.
If
we're being semantic, if we're going for semantics,
if you want to be like that, yeah. Okay. So there's only 2 members of the band at the moment. They've had a lot of past members.
The others did LSD and went crazy. And
Apparently, no. Actually, no. The weirdest thing is, majority of the members left way before the LSD style video. So, I don't know. Maybe it was just everyone leaving that formed the other 2 to be like, you know what, screw it. Let's just hallucinate.
Again, we have no idea if they actually do take drugs. We're basing this entirely off a music video.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the only correct way to judge bands, right?
There's
There's no artistic interpretation in a music video.
God help Cattle Decapitation or other bands like that. Like, jeez. Anyway.
But
that gave me an idea for an episode. Anyway, let's go.
Okay, slightly worried. So they got 3 albums out, but weirdly, so the first album came out in 2000.
Right.
But then the second album was 16 years later.
That's quite a hiatus.
Well, that's the thing as well. Like, from reading up about everything, it doesn't actually look like they were on a hiatus at all. Like, they had a lot of members, like, leave and stuff during that time. And I think that's one of the reasons why. But in that entire, like, 16-year period, all they were on about was how they're kind of working towards doing the next album. They had a lot of collaborators on board who were like, yeah, we've done stuff with the Avalanches, everything's great, but then it was like years and years later. So yeah, there was a big break, and then only 4 years between album 2 and album 3.
Okay.
So yeah,
Is this like a Damon Albarn Gorillaz situation where it's like they just don't want to release anything until it's 100% perfect?
I think so, but I don't know. Like, 16 years to wait for an album seems like a long time. Well, it is a long time. It's 16 years.
But how famous were they before?
Well, I think fairly. So, I mean, Frontier Psychiatrist was from that first album.
Blimey.
And that got... Yeah, that did really well. And then
Good song.
Frankie Sinatra was the first single from the second album. So, yeah,
Okay.
16 years between them two songs.
Very different styles of music, though.
Yeah. Well,
Frontier
yes and-
Psychiatrist
yeah.
is nearly entirely samples.
Yeah, so...
Do you know if the samples are all like real samples that were taken from other things, or is like they created it to sound like samples?
No, by the look of it, majority of them were actually taken from stuff.
Because that's badass.
Did we explain
So-
I
this?
mean, either way, it's cool.
Did you explain the story of Frontier Psychiatrist?
Yeah, well, so it's not really kind of like a story or a plot line or anything. It's literally everyone in it is sort of acting out what the sample is doing.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of like doing it in a weirder sense, but like when you've got there's everything in it has a reference to a lyric or something from a sample.
But the lyrics are
it's
entirely about like somebody being a criminal, but then also them needing therapy because they're criminally insane, not just.
Kind of. I mean, there's a lot of stuff from a lot of different things, really. So the main ones that are actually listed is there's a comedy sketch from a Canadian duo called Wayne and Shuster, and the actual comedy sketch is called Frontier Psychiatrist.
Okay.
So I think that's where they get the name from. Then the orchestral background is sourced from an Enoch Light version of the composition My Way of Life, which is a song from 1968. But then
Damn.
say there's tons of uncredited samples, ranging from golf instructionals, Christian records, and reading for the blind tapes. So there's a lot of things going on in this, really.
Okay.
But yeah, no, most of everything that's going on is kind of it's to do with any one of the lyrics in there, or just something weird, or something to do with the samples. It's why, I mean, say you've got all of the like tuba, trumpet, trombonist players doing the horn sections, but I mean, there's no reason for them to be old people. They just are. Same as like the drums. It's either an old woman or a monkey. There's no real reason for them to be there. It's just going on with the drums. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a clever way of sort of doing it.
I mean, I get that it's all based entirely around like the samples and stuff, but they should have some crazy imagery in there for the samples. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of it's like court case themed, and then they still have this wacky like Barnaby mentioned. There was a skeleton at one point. I'm trying to remember all the imagery, but there's a lot of weird stuff. Can anyone else remember some weird stuff from Frontier Psychiatrist?
Well, one of the best ones I can think of is the turtle with the old man's head.
I can't remember what that was. Which animal that was? I didn't want to say it.
I mean, with that one, like, I don't know what that is. I think it's just let's just get a person saying the line, but let's just make it weird.
I assume.
I think with both the song and the music video, they're not trying to go for a story. I believe they're just trying to go for like a theme.
Like
Because
insanity.
when you're constructing something entirely out of samples, like it can only go so far unless you're sampling something in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's the vibe I got off of it. If you want a list of things that were in the video, in my notes,
Okay, let's
which
go.
start with for Frontier Psychiatrist, it starts with in all caps, expel Dexter from public school, and then like a big droopy face. He's a turtle? Question mark? Question mark. Coconut in all caps? Question mark. I believe What was the coconut? I actually can't. For the
in
life
the
of me
lyrics
remember
it
what the
goes,
coconut
"You're
was.
crazy as a coconut."
Right? Was there a coconut on screen?
Yeah,
I
It's
don't
like,
remember the coconut.
It sort of reminds me of that, the Mighty Boosh episode where they get stranded on a desert island and
Right,
there's
yes.
coconuts. It's like that with a talking type humanoid coconut almost.
Okay.
Um,
There are ghosts. There's people dressed as like traditional old school ghosts in it. I wrote, "Why spank the donkey?" Because a teacher hits a donkey on the bum with a stick.
Yeah.
I wrote very enthusiastically, "Skeletons in chair."
Oh my gosh.
And then at this point in my notes, I just wrote, there's honestly a lot going on.
I just brought it up now so I can have a look at it. There's a lot going on. It's almost entirely like elderly people again, which I don't know what this band has an association and like an obsession with elderly people, but they're in all of their music videos. It looks like.
Yeah.
But then there's also like there's a guy in the back of one of the crowd holding a blender. There's a guy with one of those puppets on his lap, a ventriloquist doll kind of thing. Then there's that monkey. Then there's like. There's just so much going on in the background of these videos that if you don't pay attention to, it's kind of like, oh my gosh.
Just point out as well something I found quite interesting. So it was two guys who directed this video.
Mm-hmm.
One of them kind of got a fairly rude surname, but it's called Tom Kuntz. Kuntz. Yeah. But he's the guy who he went on to do the classic Old Spice advert.
Really?
The one of the guy who's on the horse and
Oh my god, look at your
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Now look
yeah,
back
yeah.
at me. Now look back at your man.
yeah, that one. Like,
The classic advert.
so he directed them adverts. That's what he went on to do. So
Amazing.
can kind of like as soon as I saw that, I was like, I can sort of see the two kind of going together, almost ish, sort of. Yeah.
Kind of?
I can
Yeah.
definitely. There's a lot of weird
Yeah, I
imagery
don't know.
going on. There's a lot of just like snapping backwards and forwards. Also, that coconut
This-
guy is the ventriloquist doll, by the way.
Right.
Right. This music video, well, more so for Frontier Psychiatrist than Frankie Sinatra, this music video reminded me of Fatboy Slim, Weapon of Choice kind of vibes,
Don't know it.
where you don't know Fatboy Slim, Weapon of Choice, the one where Christopher Walken is dancing around.
No, I don't know it. Give me a moment.
What?
No, I don't know much Fatboy Slim, honestly.
Even if you don't know Fatboy Slim, this is like... And I don't know why I'm bothering.
I've never seen
You haven't
this.
seen it. You haven't seen it. I don't know why I'm being so mean.
How could
God
you not have
damn.
seen this, boy? I've got it up now. He's just dancing around.
Yeah, it's similar. It gave me similar vibes. So like in Weapon of Choice, I mean, it's already weird that it's Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
But then he just starts dancing around, and then if you do some research, it turns out Christopher Walken is actually a trained dancer.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he was a dancer before he was an actor.
That's so cool. Oh my god, the more you know.
Cool.
And then as the music video progresses, he's dancing and dancing and dancing until he's just like actually flying,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. But anyway, it gives me similar vibes to that, where it's just sort of, I don't think they're trying to go for anything specific. It's just, what can we put together? Like, I don't know. I don't think someone sat around being like, okay, we need specifically 3 people dressed as ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get a coconut in here. Like, they probably thought, okay, so this is related to the sample. Let's do this, and this. I don't think they specifically were like, yeah, we're gonna get, like, I don't think anyone sat down and was like, right, old lady is gonna be on the drums, and then halfway through, we're gonna get a monkey.
It does feel like they targeted the theme of like the insanity side of it, because obviously the whole song in my interpretation, was about the idea of this boy being criminally insane. So, like, for me, that looks like they kind of just went on the theme of like insanity in like a courtroom, and then that was the general vibe. And then, to be honest, I don't know what's crazier than a woman at the back of a courtroom with a blender, and then like a woman with a skeleton, and then pretty insane to me, if you ask.
Yeah. I mean, so there is actually an alternative video for this song as well, which, I mean, it's called a director's cut, but it doesn't actually say which director or if it is both of them or not. It literally doesn't say, but
right.
It's focused all around this Dexter character, who's kind of mentioned at the start, and it's kind of about him going through therapy.
Oh, okay.
And it's a weird video, but then he's got two psychiatrists.
Mm-hmm.
One who looks surprisingly a lot like John C. Reilly. And there's just loads of the Rorschach drawings and ink blots and things.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of weird imagery of like them just sort of floating around the screen at one point.
So, for reference, Rorschach is an ink block test used to be used, I don't know whether it still is, where people drop ink on a page, show you an image, and you're supposed to say the first thing that you're like thinking of. For anybody wondering what that is.
You mean you don't know if they're still using it, right? Give me your degree back. Come on. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
Oh
yeah,
my
we're gonna go
God.
back. We're gonna go back to the uni. You're
I
gonna
don't know
hand the
much
degree,
about-
and you're gonna apologize to each and every single member, not only of the staff but everyone in your year. Rip it up. Live stream that.
Look,
God damn it.
Look, it's side of psychology that's I'm not interested in, but some people might be interested in. I don't know.
Can you believe what he's saying here, Bushby? Can you believe this absolute slander? This is terrible.
I can.
This is
It's
disgusting.
awful. It's harrowing.
Ugh.
I like that. I just googled Rorschach ink block test to work out whether it was like actually, and then one of the first thing that comes up is Rorschach is a fictional anti-hero in the
He's a
acclaimed
character from
1986
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
The only reason that most people know it's a thing is because of Watchmen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And by most people, I of course mean Bushby.
Oh yeah, that is the only reason I know what it's called and why I can still remember what it's called. Because of that, well, the movie and the novel.
I know this character, and I know what they're on about.
Right.
I agree.
Gav.
Mhm.
Would you... No, there's too many tangents. Let's keep going.
The moral of the story is just watch Watchmen. It's a brilliant
I was gonna...
film.
Yeah, we should talk about Frankie Sinatra for a little bit, 'cause we focused a lot on frontier psychiatrists.
Yes, we did.
Has anyone else got anything to say about...
Other than I love
About
it.
it?
I've loved this ever since I first saw it. This video has been one of my favorites. Just the Breaking Bad style fucking like ice cream slushy vendor who just gives out these drinks to everybody and like try it. It's good. And then suddenly everybody's getting high, crazy stuff's happening. A man on a tractor is getting mistaken for like I think it's a monkey on a tractor or something. There's like old people shooting their paintball guns at fishermen because they think they're like in the middle of a war. There's just so much going on. It's just so much fun, high energy. Like the other one's much more like based around insanity, and this one feels like it's much more based around like having a good time. And then can we just talk about the random moment where it cuts into the Sound of Music? Is it the Sound of Music, or am I going mad again?
Yes,
And
yeah, it is.
It's just that man and that woman lying on a floor surrounded by feathers to a song from the Sound of Music.
Yeah.
What? Honestly, out of the two, this one makes me go, what, a little bit more than the last one. Because there's just so much weird imagery. Like, obviously, I get that there's a lot of weird imagery in the other one, but it kind of makes sense. In this one, it's like, how many drug-based, like, things can you think of? Like, if you were on drugs, what would you picture? And then they were like, Yes.
Yeah, pretty
Yes.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's...
I like how all
Yeah.
you have to say to that is yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much to say about Frankie Sinatra, honestly. Like, it was just good. It was a good music video, but it was just well done. Fun little stuff. But there's nothing like overarching for me to really latch onto, you know? Other than the music itself. The music is absolutely fantastic, and I really am glad I found it. I feel like Avalanches have a lot of not crossover appeal. I feel like they're a band that everybody could enjoy, whether or not, whatever type of music you like. There's enough like weirdness in there to get a lot of people interested.
Yeah. Well, I
don't know.
mean,
I feel like people of all genres, like if you heard it on the radio, you know how sometimes when, I don't know how often you two listen to the radio, but like if the radio's on, there's like a constant just like, not, because I don't think any of it's bad. I think it's popular for a reason, but like every so often when you listen to the radio, it's just like everything feels quite similar, and then something like the Avalanches will play where you're like, what what the hell, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And you actually, but then you're like desperately trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
it's very much easy listening, and then occasionally they'll put something on that catches your attention.
I feel I felt out the way the other day when Lizzo was on the radio. It's just like general stream. It's like The Weekend for like the 600th time, which, you know, nothing wrong with The Weekend. Like The Weekend. I think I've only heard one Weekend song actually, and it's that one that's on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
But then Lizzo came on, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, dude. I was fucking there for that. God, we should just call this the tangent episode. Does anyone else want to go on a tangent?
I like trains.
You like trains?
No.
What kind of trains do you like?
Oh no, it was just a reference to... It doesn't matter.
SDF.
Shall we move
It's a
on?
reference to your own videos.
No. It was a reference to the old ASDF movies. It's okay.
The old what?
ASDF movies.
Have you not seen any of them?
You must have seen them.
What? The what movies?
ASDF.
ASDF. The keyboard letters. ASDF.
Astaf.
What the hell is this?
This is another
my-
episode. All right, that's
Yep.
another episode.
Oh god.
Right.
Yeah.
When we watch it with
God.
our mothers, shall we get on to the 3 ratings before we lose control?
Sure.
Before
mean,
this becomes 50 minutes of us being on tangents.
This
and 2
already
minutes.
has lost control. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frankie Psychiatrist and
Dre-
Frontier,
drugs, yes or
Frontier
no?
Sinatra. Would you watch them?
There you go. I have a fun story. Yeah, this is the last tangent. Okay. So I was at a festival that my brother was playing at, and he after the show he disappeared, and I was left with a bunch of his friends, and we were like in the merch tent, and then this guy came up to us. He was American, and he was talking to us, and then me and him started talking about drugs. This is where it connects.
Whoa.
And basically I was like, you know, like, drugs are cool and all, but just don't let it like control your life, take it responsibly. And then the guy was like, yeah, sure man, I just think, you know, more liberal approach, just take whatever you want. And then he's like, oh man, I gotta go. And I was like, oh, okay, see you. And then like I looked over, and my brother's friend had like a really red look on his face, and I was like, you right? And he's like, yeah, that's just that was the singer of Cancer Bats. And I was just there like, huh? Didn't know, didn't recognize.
Cool. Okay.
So I've told off the singer of Cancer Bats. I feel like I've just knocked on him.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's my claim to fame. My other closest claim to fame was that I was within reaching distance of the Queen.
Nice.
I was talking about anime with a lecturer in the film lab.
I thought you were going to say the Queen. I was talking about anime with the Queen. Yeah, she's really into Naruto. You wouldn't believe it.
I can see that.
I should have reached out the window and asked her.
Your Majesty, what is your
Hey,
favorite
Lizzie.
anime? If you had to choose your favorite waifu, who would it be? And why?
Oh God, I wonder if she would watch the Avalanches. Anyway,
Would you watch it with
Maybe.
your Majesty? That's the big question.
oh my God,
Oh, God.
right? Is it good, Gav?
Yeah,
Tell
it's
us.
good. I like it. Woo!
What part?
All part.
This episode?
No, I honestly, I love Frankie Sinatra. I love the way that the video comes together. It tells a nice little
but what about
story
the
about.
song?
What
Sorry.
But what about the song? The song was good. What do you want me to say about the music? The music's really good too. I'm not really a musical boy. I am a little bit, but like.
I was actually referencing the actual person, Frank Sinatra.
Oh.
It was a bad joke. I'm really sorry.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so yes, Gav thinks it's good.
Yeah, I think it's great, to be fair. Like, I mean, I love the Avalanches.
Well, my share's a little
Yeah.
bit low now. I need to.
We almost went through a whole episode where we didn't reference anything that the listener-only people couldn't see.
Yeah,
You had to ruin it.
I feel like the Kamehameha moment coming on.
Oh my God.
For the people watching or listening, for the people listening,
For people watching, you can tell everything that's going on because you're watching it. Oh my God.
oh my god.
But yeah,
Yes, it's good.
long story
it's good.
short, it's good. Fuck's sake.
How is this?
Today's sponsor is LSD.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my God. Right. Push B. Tell
Yeah.
me. Tell me. Where does this place on your what the fuck factor scale?
Middle, roughly. Or maybe, if this makes any sense, somewhere towards the high point of a low middle.
so a 7.
I understand what.
No,
No,
what?
you go straight for 7. This is
No,
why number ratings
would
don't
say,
make
like-
any sense.
So
Number
out of-
ratings just don't matter. They don't. Like, someone will say something and it'll just be like, yeah, I didn't really like this, or that, but 8.5 out of 10. Excellent. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Sorry,
going
I
into
hate
a number rating
ratings.
thing, I would say Place is more like a 4 or 4.5 out of 10.
Okay.
How many barrels,
Yeah.
though?
How many barrels? Oh, I don't know.
How many
Maybe, like-
tabs would you take? That's the big question.
Oh, like the
Clever
LSD.
LSD reference.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
How many tabs would you give it?
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't. 2 tabs out of
10.
5.
2 out
I
of
feel like
5.
I've aged a lot
I
throughout the
don't.
course of this podcast.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
I feel 60.
We've
Yeah.
made this
Right.
go on for a long time.
Yeah. What the fuck? Is it even on anyone's what the fuck level? Gav, is it on your what the fuck level?
No. It's not that weird.
God,
It's about 3. It's
just call me a smoked herring. I don't know why I said that.
I'm so confused. Call me a smoked herring.
Right, I wouldn't rate it on my what the fuck factor. Let's go. Would you watch it with your mother?
Oh, alright, guys, this is a mess.
Yes, I would watch this with my mother.
I would watch it with my mother.
Yes.
Bushby.
Yeah. To be fair, I might have already watched it with my mum. I can't remember.
I was gonna say, for Gav so rudely interrupted. I feel like this is like a music video that would be on in the I say old school days of MTV. I mean, like when I was young. I realize in the scheme of MTV, probably when I was watching MTV was like the end of it. Like I'm talking like 6 to 8. That was like probably the end of actual MTV into whatever it's become today, or as I call it, the Catfish channel, because I just watch Catfish on MTV. No, I feel like, towards that end of when they actually were showing music videos and people were still putting like a really big amount of effort into music videos. Like I'm thinking about like your Britney Spears, your early 2000 Madonnas. Like they're still putting a storyline in it, but nothing's really connected. Like specifically Toxic, for example. If you remember the music video for Toxic, it's like Britney Spears is a secret agent poisoning a guy on a plane, and then she's also a spy, like getting through all these lasers. None of it's really connected. It's just there for like a feeling, for an ambiance.
Yeah.
I feel like this music video, both of these music videos would really like fit in.
Yeah, I can
back
see that.
then. Of course, I'm overgeneralizing, but I feel like a lot of music videos nowadays are the singer or band, the singer of the band, like performing, and they may be in some sort of weird scenario, but there's not a lot that's like, ooh, we're just going to do a weird, wacky storyline. Like, if you look at the progression of Queens of the Stone Age, like Queens of the Stone Age, early 2000s, Lost Art of Keeping a Secret, for example, it's like, yeah, you've got the band performing, but there's also this weird shit of like a guy riding around on a motorcycle and like looking into somebody's apartment, and then there's like a lady that's like working with him, and it's unclear if they're spies or some like secret lovers. And then you cut to like the villains music videos where it's like there's a lot of cool camera stuff going on, I guess, and there's a lot of weird stuff, but it's mostly just, I can never pronounce his last name. I feel like a fool. Josh Homme? Josh Homme?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's mostly just him performing to the camera. And like, I don't know. I feel like it's lost a lot of its sort of wackiness, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean.
That counts as a tangent, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. That was very much a
Right.
tangent. I got very lost again.
What I meant to say is, yes, I would watch it with my mother because I feel like she's seen a lot of strange music videos back in... My older brother watched a lot of MTV when they still showed music videos, and it was a lot of weird stuff, like the aforementioned Britney Spears stuff. So, yeah. Watch it with my
Woohoo!
mother.
We'll all watch it with
She
our
might even-
mothers.
She might even like the music. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. See, because, I mean, both the songs, I mean, Frankie Sinatra, especially for me, but these are old songs, like, before I listened to them, I probably wouldn't have ever chosen to listen to this kind of music, but, I mean, I catch myself now. I mean, as soon as rewatching these videos, like, it's all I've been singing for the last couple of days. It just stays in my head.
It's a great
So,
tune.
So I think it'd do a similar effect with a lot of other people as well. mums
Yeah, I know when
included.
I used to play this on Spotify when I was back home with my family. I know that we'd all be humming it at some points. There's no way you can't hum Frankie Sinatra.
Yeah.
It's just illegal. I don't believe anybody would go there and not do it.
It's not legal.
It's not legal to not hum it. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that was a law.
You must be humming it at
yeah.
all times, or else old man
What
with
about people
LSD.
that haven't listened to it?
Damn it, you've caught me there.
That's a loophole in the system.
Yeah, that's the only time you get it. That's a get out of jail free card. If you've listened to it though, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Facts.
This is a
That's just a
weird
fact.
tangent.
A rock fact.